That ad you just watched, pretty cool. And I know you're scrolling through Instagram right now while you're watching this. Oh, look, another ad. Don't panic though now. There's your favorite influencer. Paid promotion. Well, today I'm going to tell you the 36 most common products I see promoted on social media to let you know if they're actually worth your money. So next time you see it, you can ignore that urge to just add to cart or at least be really informed with your purchase. Number 1, products labeled high protein. Protein's all the rage. I did a whole video about it. You can go watch. But once something's popular, what do marketers do? Add it onto everything. And if you want to add more high protein, yes, it's great. But just realize, look closely, a lot just add like 3 grams of protein and some charge more. So I'm not saying don't buy the high protein option. Just be aware the high protein option might not be that high protein. Just read the label. Number 2. Carbon plated shoes. It is true, the spring in these will make you about 1 to 3% faster in a race. And that is a big deal when pro athletes have like maxed out their physical capability and need just like every little detail to get every little second. Us average folk, just learn to take one less bathroom break. I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying they're really expensive and yes, there's some other benefits from it, but save your money. And to my extreme runners who are trying to do all that, yeah. But for the average person, just get a good pair of running shoes. Save the $200. 3, multiple Stanleys, multiple water bottles. And I'm guilty of this. This is also my own kryptonite because for whatever reason, you always think that next water bottle is the one that will go with everything. It has all the solutions that you need. No. It's not. That pink one you saw an influencer have that just matches everything else you have, so you think your life's going to be so much more organized. And Nope. If you have one, it's fine. Here's the trick that's kept me from stopping to buy water bottles. Customize it. Customize your water bottle. Add some stickers. Make it a security. Make it your thing. Make it part of your personality, and then you won't have the urge to buy new ones because your whole personality is your water bottle. Number 4, fat-burning supplements. No. Science lesson as fast as possible. You burn a certain amount of calories a day. It's called TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. And part of that is your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. How much calories you burned if you just did nothing, just to keep your body going, your lungs breathing, your heart beating. And then your total daily energy expenditure is anything added onto that. So me moving right here takes calories, me working out, just digesting food. So those are the 2. And I think a lot of people think this fat burning supplement, your basic metabolic rate is just gonna start skyrocketing. Say you need 1,800 calories just to function. People think these fat burning supplements are gonna make it like 2,200. No. The studies on them are always like an extra 10 calories and it's just kind of not worth it. Like honestly, just like walk an extra 5 minutes. Like it's just the benefits and then there's so much, there's Ozempic, but I'm not talking about Ozempic. If you really want one that works, it's Ozempic, but it doesn't even increase your BMR. It just makes your hunger lowered. 5, body fat percent scales. I do like these because it stops people focusing just on weight and other things because weight going up and down doesn't tell you how much more muscle you gain. So you could be gaining muscle, losing fat, and that's why a body fat scale is great. But here's my problem with them. They're not 100% accurate and I find your body fat doesn't change that much. It's like, it's better to just go get that done at like a gym every couple months, once a month, versus those scales. In theory, it's like, oh, I'll just focus on my body fat percentage, not my weight. But every day you walk on it and you still see your weight and the body fat percent doesn't change as much. So maybe get one and then just realize don't step on it every day. Don't step on it every week, step on it every few weeks. Cause like body fat percent just takes so much longer to see changes. So for that reason, I think it is just a glorified weight scale most of the time, or it collects dust. So it's not inherently bad. I just think they're kind of a little waste of money. They're kind of nice for trends over time, but I don't think they're like a full solution. Number 6, the Bala ankle weights. And I won't lie, these are so cute. And that's why they're popular. That's why every influencer has them, because they look aesthetic. But they actually, the Velcro breaks down over time. You might think, oh, I'm gonna get this because it's a great investment. I have for a long time. But just them, like every other brand, the Velcro eventually diminishes. So depending how much you use it, but it's kind of like if you're not using it, what's the point of paying all the money for it? So just realize the Velcro will wear out. So maybe just the Amazon dupe is a better choice for these. Number 7, BCAAs. For the most part, if you're getting in enough protein, you're fine. That's all branched chain amino acids are. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein. So if you're getting a wide variety of protein, you're probably fine. You could make the argument if you're doing fasted cardio to include these, or maybe if you're vegan or really struggle to get protein. But for the most part, it's just one of those supplements that you will really not see a difference from if you just have a balanced diet. 8, running gels. Now this is different if you're running marathons and ultras and you just need to get in calories. You need inter-race nutrition, and a gel is a great option for that. But I just do have a lot of people who come up to me and they were like, oh, I'm running 10K, like gels. I'm like, you don't need to worry because they're really expensive. Maybe bring a couple candies on it in case you get lightheaded. Or guess what? You can just have some honey and salt and make your own. And that's another thing. Just realize they're really expensive for what they are. They're just like carbs and salt. So they can be an expensive thing. And that's why running is shockingly really expensive now. It shouldn't be. You should just put on shoes. And there, put on shoes and pack some honey. That would be sticky, but you can also have candy. Yeah. I think all of us on running Instagram have just made it seem like you have to have gels. It's an option for performance, not a need. Number 9, sea moss. It's nutritious. Anything nutritious is great, and that's it. It's got a wide variety of nutrients. It's not gonna make or break. There's been no scientific studies to really prove it's gonna do much, aside from just be extra nutrition. So if you enjoy it, enjoy. But personally, Number 10, a running vest. Don't get me wrong, I have a running vest and I love it because it holds all my stuff. I'm not gonna say you have to be running over 20K to wear a running vest. You can run 2K. You can walk around town wearing it and be a way to hold your stuff. But it's not a need. Like, you can just get a basic running belt. You can just hold your phone, tuck some stuff into your bra. I go on many runs without my running vest. So I just think we see them so much that a lot of people think that's something you need to run. You definitely don't. Honestly, if you wear it too often, even on long runs, it causes chafing. And they're kind of annoying. Sometimes I love it because I can carry a lot of sweet treats and my phone on my long run. And other times I'm like, I hate this thing. So you definitely don't need it to go on a run. It just sucks that women's performance gear doesn't have a lot of pockets. So we don't have somewhere to put our stuff. And that is the pro of the running vest. So here's my advice if you should get a running vest. Start without bringing anything. See if you're annoyed by holding your phone or if you have no pockets to put your phone and keys. So then get a running belt. See if that's all you needed, just carry your phone, keys, a little running belt. And then if you notice after a couple weeks, months of running, you're so frustrated because you have to carry tampons, gels, your phone, your AirPods, your inhaler, all these things, then that's time to get a running vest. But don't start off with the running vest. Number 11, at-home workout equipment. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. You could get it and it is what allows you to work out because you're busy, you're a working mom, the only time you have is like 20 minutes in the morning. But as someone who like romanticized that I would get up, go into my corner of my small apartment and go use my bike, I never did. I had one at one point and I used it 2 times and it collected dust. Because I realized I like going to the gym. So just be realistic with yourself. Maybe rent one. Maybe rent one before you buy it because there is nothing that collects dust more than workout equipment. It is a trope that is true. Number 12, skinny teas. These are glorified laxatives. And so they will just make you go. Number 2, guess what? If you have a little bit of upset stomach, sometimes some peppermint can help. So yeah, have a peppermint tea. Things labeled skinny tea, marketing, a waste. They just make you shit your pants. Number 13, fancy running glasses. Once again, this is another thing social media has made us think is normal, and I've also fallen victim to. I saw many cool girls running on Instagram wearing these Oakley sunglasses, so I bought them because I wanted to look as cool as them. And guys, I never wear these. It's so embarrassing. It is so embarrassing. I'm not saying if you wear them, you don't look cool, but like at least for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm looking all intense. And then I go run like a zone 2 chill run wearing those. And I'm like, I feel like the world's biggest imposter. So they're one of those things that's not inherently bad, but I feel they're one of those things you buy and you're like precious with. You're like, oh, I'm not going fast enough today. I'm not. So if you like that look, get a cheaper pair. Or I do have a pair of Oakleys I love. And as someone who has really sensitive eyes, hence they're bloodshot right now. Yeah, that's cute. I do need to wear some kind of protection over my eyes. So that's important for health. But those like fancy running glasses, just be careful before you fall victim to and buy because you saw it on Pinterest. And then you're too embarrassed to wear it. 14, any luxury designer brand workout gear. Luxury brands, the Chanels, the Gucci's, the Pradas are now making like workout gear, but realize it is not workout gear. It is like athleisure gear. So it's like meant to be worn casually. It's not for performance. Sometimes I see people wearing workout shoes that are luxury. And if you're just here for the vibes and fit, that's fine. Just because they're more expensive does not mean they're better. Most of them lack performance details, and they could be high quality materials for casual wear, but like there's more performance gear in Nike, which is going to be literally 5% the price. So just realize designer gear is just glorified art, which is fine if you want to wear it. If you want to wear it, do it. Just realize you are not paying for better. You're just paying for a look. 15, pre-workout. You can definitely, if it gets you jacked and gets you to the gym and gets you going, and there's some that do have benefits that help with like blood circulation, different things, but realize the number one sports performance enhancer that has been studied is caffeine. And you can get that from a coffee or an energy drink or caffeine powder or whatever it is. So just don't think you like need it. If it's the thing that gets you to the gym, great. But it's just definitely like if you're trying to cut costs, you can cut this one out. 16, probiotics. Now, probiotics are good. You want a healthy microbiome. Pretty much why you take probiotics, I just don't think a lot of people are aware, is you're just introducing different bacteria to your gut. So you have more wide variety of microbiome. You want all the different strains. That's the best. The problem with probiotics is I think they're more complicated than we realize. Like you can go get your gut microbiome tested and see what strains specifically you are missing and go take those specifically through a healthcare provider. So that could be beneficial. And so maybe changing up probiotics, like this is not medical advice, but for me, I just try to change them up all the time because each one's gonna have different strains. Also, a lot of the cheaper ones, the reality is your stomach will just burn through it before it actually gets exposed to your gut. Like that's why you hear of like seed and some that have these fancy capsules so it actually gets into your digestive system. So just realize a lot of the time you could just be taking the same one forever and you're kind of good and you're missing a whole bunch of others or your stomach's just burning through it. So I'm not saying don't, just realize, make sure you educate yourself if you're gonna take probiotics so you're not wasting money. 17, I'm sorry, aloe sweatsuits. They're cute, they're nice. They're not worth that price tag. I did a whole aloe review, you can go check it out there. A lot of the stuff at aloe is high quality, but I can't ethically say those sweaters are worth $200 when they are not even 100% cotton. They're cute, they fit nice and they're comfy, but there's the same fabric blends at Walmart. 18, booty bands. Great. Resistance bands, yeah, all those great for like engaging your glutes. There's so many benefits, but the ones that are specifically labeled like booty bands, just realize it's just resistance band. You can use any resistance band for that. That's just labeling, that's just marketing. So it's not inherently wrong, but there's really nothing special about the booty band. It's just a band and they put a name on it. You know, I hate when things sometimes are just marketed just to like grab women, like, oh, you're gonna use this and you're gonna grow a bigger butt. I'm like, it's a resistance band, let's get women weightlifting. So sometimes I get mad at marketers who do things like that. So yeah, that's one of them. It's just a band, it's just a band. So in essence, if you see one's booty band and one's just a resistance band, and the booty band's more expensive, by the resistance band, there is no difference. 19, vibration plates. This is back in, guys. How did this happen? I feel old. I tried this. I won't lie. When I was graduating, I heard this was a thing to get rid of cellulite and it was gonna make me chiseled. And I stood on that thing. I bought a pack. I did like 3 times a week for like 2 months. And guess what? Nothing happened. There is some benefit maybe of doing like some stabilizers one-legged, but you can also just lift weights one-legged to get the stabilizer. There's been no science that these work. No, just don't. I'm not gonna give this any more cadence. Next time you see someone, just skip along. Skip along. If you want like some circulation, treat yourself to a massage. Go get a massage. That's way better use of your money and it will feel nicer. Speaking of massage, number 20, massage guns. Now I love these. I have one. It's great. They collect dust. At least for me, it sits on the opposite side of the room and I'm sitting down, I'm like, oh, I have to get up. And so it sounds great in theory that every day you're gonna use it and massage out all you end up not using it. Some people will use it, and if you use it, it's really beneficial. It's just one of those really expensive things that in your mind you'll use a lot more than you actually do. Because I have one and I love it, and when I remember to, it's great, but most of the time it's just buried in a corner. I forget it exists. So that could just be a me problem. But if you're a couple that constantly giving each other massages, that's the tea. So just one of you can sit there lazily while the other gets a massage. Because guess what? After 5 p.m. we're all lazy, and that's what happens with the Theragun. We get lazy, even though it takes no effort. Just realized this could likely collect dust. 21, mouth tape. Did a whole video if you want more about it, but pretty much unless you are a mouth breather or snoring, you're not gonna see much benefits. Right now, everyone pause for a second. Relax. Where's your tongue? If your tongue's on the roof of your mouth, it's likely you're not a mouth breather. So you're fine, right there, boom, saved you the money. Number 22, red light masks / beds or whatever. There's a lot of science coming out, and as someone who actually uses red light mask, there definitely is benefits I see. But in terms of like skin quality, I see 10 times more benefits from just wearing sunscreen. And also something I didn't realize when you bought these is how consistent you have to be. Like you have to be doing it 3 to 7 times a week, every day. It has to be a part of your routine. So you just realize it's like working out. It's not one of those things you use a couple times and it's like, oh, this has to become something you do every day. And also, it has to be something you fork over money for. So I'm not saying don't do this, but don't buy a cheap version because that is a complete waste of money. Like look into how powerful the LEDs are, because a lot of the ones on the market, especially on Amazon and all that, are just like doing absolutely nothing. They're just glorified Christmas lights. So if it's something you really want to commit to, realize it's going to take a lot of money and a lot of time, and there's a lot of other things you can see better results from, but just make sure it has powerful enough LEDs. Number 23, a workout tracking watch. Now, I love an Apple Watch. You guys know this. I do love it, gamifies it, but you definitely don't need it. If you're getting into working out, do not feel the pressure for it. There's other apps you can do just on your phone. Oh my gosh. For example, you can just use the Apple Health tracker to track your steps. Your phone can do it. Like if you just go like Apple Health, it tracks your steps as long as your phone is in your pocket. And you can use things like Strava to track your runs even. So if you're trying to cut costs, realize there's other alternatives for pretty much free as long as you have a phone. And another thing I'm going to slightly defluence. Number 24, sleep or recovery tracking devices. Yes, as the girl wearing a Whoop and Oura Ring. I just want to say I do love them. I do use them, but they're one of those things that will collect dust. So just be mindful that after a little while, you'll get the trends. And that's why I do like them. I do like they will just be very eye-opening of how much you're actually sleeping. But after a couple weeks and after a couple months, you'll realize it's all the same because we all have a routine and it's kind of predictable. So you stop actually opening it and looking at it. So just be mindful that it could end up being something that know yourself, you might collect dust, but they're really beneficial when you go through different changes in life, whether it be pregnancy, menopause, moving. It's a good indicator of if it's helping improve your recovery for the good or bad. But just realize these things, eventually the dopamine wears off and you're paying a $20 subscription for something you don't use. Number 25, apple cider vinegar gummies. Mainly because most of these promote weight loss, detoxifying. And there is some studies that just show very minuscule connection between apple cider vinegar and this, but it's so small. It's once again, it's completely useless. And I always think of those studies, is it more of a placebo? Like the person took it, and so it was a trigger to start doing other habits. But most of those gummies don't even have enough of a dose to align with those clinical studies. So realize that. They're just some fun gummies. Nothing really inherently wrong with apple cider vinegar. It's kind of a form of fermented food. So that's kind of all it is. You could also have a kombucha or some sauerkraut. Number 26, Celsius energy drinks. Specifically, they have changed the marketing. So I wrote this and realized they did take it off, but it used to also always label itself as like fat burning. And they're able to do that because there's a little bit of science that say caffeine increases your heart rate slightly. And so yes, you technically burn a few more calories, but it's so minuscule that like walking a little more or less every day by a couple minutes would be the exact same result. So I'm glad they took it off, but I do think a lot of people will take energy drinks, and there is other energy drinks. So first of all, props for Celsius getting rid of that. Clap, 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 clap. But a lot have that label and just realize it's mainly that, and maybe they put L-carnitine, but no. Big energy drink lover, love it, but don't drink it thinking it's just gonna like torch fat. And this other one, 27, collagen supplements. Now, there's nothing wrong with consuming collagen. It is a form of protein. It is great for you. Consuming collagen is great, whether the powder forms or the food. It is just another nutrient to add. But it's a little complicated. It's one of those things people think it's directly eat collagen, form collagen. It's not quite that. One thing that helps promote collagen is just consuming enough protein and healthy fats in general. And like collagen is a form of that. But it's kind of, think of it this way, just because you eat fat does not mean what the fat you eat digests directly to fat. So the collagen you eat doesn't directly become collagen in your body. There's many of ways to promote collagen boost, whether it be red light therapy, eating enough protein, eating enough healthy fats. According to Dr. Patel, MD, and Dr. Maureen McCreed's Senate at Harvard Health, large-scale trials evaluating the benefits of oral collagen supplements for skin and hair health are not available. If your goal is to improve skin texture and elasticity and minimize wrinkles, you're better off focusing on sun protection and using topical retinols. Extensive research has already demonstrated that these measures are more effective. So if you want to promote collagen, I use a retinol, things like that, like sunscreen, reducing sun damage is one of the best things to help with collagen. So it's not that they're bad, just realize there's not really any scientific studies directly saying eating collagen forms collagen. Number 28, guided journals. Now, if you're someone who uses one of these, you are indeed better than me. So you already know the answer, you use it. But if you're like me and you buy these mainly for the dopamine hit of the idea you're the person who does it, step away. This is one of those know yourself. This is one of those health and wellness things of like, I'm going to fill out all these little lines every day and all that. Just like try and maintain a journal. Just a journal every day, you write one line. Once you're in that habit, you know yourself. But at least for me, I was always like, I just need to find the perfect journal and then that will make me journal. No, there's no perfect journal. It's just a journal that you actually write in. Because you can make your own guided journal. Infrared sauna blankets. Just realize there's very limited studies on infrared sauna. There's a lot of studies on sauna, like dry saunas, especially out of Finland, and the health benefits of those. It's just one of those things I see that are really expensive, and there's just not that many studies. So I'm like, you can do it, and it could come out in the future that there's a ton of benefits, but there really isn't right now, so you're kind of gambling. And realize infrared sauna and red light therapy are different. I know they get blended together. I do think a lot of the benefits that, especially when you see people promote it online, is just like forced meditation, forced relaxation. I think they're kind of nice and make you relax and sit there and enjoy, and they're semi-warm. So it kind of is forced meditation and relaxation. And if it does that for you, I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here about romanticizing it anyway, but just realize very limited research on the actual benefits. Number 30, AirPod Maxes. We need to stop. Who are working out with these? They're awful to work out in. They're heavy. I'm scared people are going to start balding because they're rubbing on the top. Do I have a pair of AirPod Maxes? Yes. Do I love my AirPods Maxes? Yes. As a YouTuber who has to like edit in public places and just needs a lot of sound blocking, I do love them. But now they're really popular for working out with, and they're okay to walk in. But even then, they're really, really heavy. And I won't lie, I don't use them as much as I wish I could, because the only real time I enjoy them is like when I'm sitting watching like Netflix on a plane, or editing in public places, or going on a short walk and want to blast some tunes. Not for working out, definitely not for running. Like when I see people running with them, I'm like, I'm worried you're gonna get a headache. But if they work for you, it's great. You know yourself. But I'm just saying, we see a lot of people working out with them and they're quite miserable to work out in. Number 31, Lemme Sleep. It has melatonin, which I think you should be questionable about using every single day. Do your own research. But everyone on social media said these knocked you the F out. And no, it was just kind of made me a little dozy. Tried, they're not as great as I saw hyped online. Which number 23, Lemme Curb. Not to hate on Lemme, but I see these everywhere. I also tried these and I did a full video you can go check out in more detail, but they really hurt my stomach. I had this really weird bloating a little while ago, and it was like the most severe I've had in I don't know how long, if not ever. And I was like, what have I added? And I was trying the Lemme gummies, so the Lemme Curbs. So be careful. Sorry, this is the one that destroyed my stomach. Ooh. No. Number 33, ginger shots and juices. I consider these like my fitness tequila shot. Pretty useless, but pretty dang fun. Yeah, do I see a ginger shot? I'm like, yeah, just a little extra nutrients. That's all it is. It's just a little extra nutrients. And as for the juices, my biggest issue is one of the most important things in our diet is fiber. And what is juice? Pretty much fruit without the fiber. So they're not inherently wrong. It's some extra nutrients, but one of the most nutritious things of fruit is the fiber. So yeah, it's just a little extra vitamin C and stuff like that. And it's kind of fun. It's not that deep and they're expensive. So you definitely do not need. But remember, this video is not meant to be like a hate on influencers or even marketing, because marketing is what makes the world go round. This is just kind of give you a little idea. If you're like, could I save money on this? And you know, as much as we're all kind of anti-marketing, marketing allows entertainment to be free. So here's today's sponsor. But let's all be adults here, and you sit down and remind yourself this video is free because of today's amazing sponsor that I use every single day. It is actually in my water bottle right now. And that, of course, is Element, a supplement that I see so much benefits from because I used to suffer from energy crashes in the middle of the day, cramps. What was it? Not getting enough electrolytes. And why I love Element is because it's science-based ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. It's trusted by professionals. If you're someone who lives in a hot climate, was working out over an hour a day, doing endurance events, doing sauna, just sweating a lot, you're losing electrolytes. And that's why it's something to look into is having an electrolyte supplement to replenish yourself. Because you don't just need water when you're sweating that much, you also need electrolytes because of course you're sweating out things like salt. And electrolyte deficiency can be headaches, energy fog, cramps. I used to get awful calf cramps, and now I have one every day around my workout, sometimes two when I'm doing the intense marathon training, and I absolutely love it. And of course, I'm not going to talk about it and not at least give you guys a code because we're talking about saving money here. If you go to drinkelement.com/Keltie, you will get a pack of their best sellers, which is a great way to try the most popular flavors like raspberry, citrus, and orange with your purchase. Once again, that's drinkelement.com/Keltie. Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video and making this free because you know what? I'm part of the problem. And this is not hating on marketing. It's just being informed by the choices you make. I get it. You're sitting here like you're going to put an ad in here. I'm like, yep. And you watch this for free. So sorry. Not sorry, because Element is delicious. Speaking of delicious, number 34 Air Up bottle. I've seen this and I got a hold of some, and this is a gimmick. If you didn't know, it's like you put in these flavor things and so it makes your water taste flavored through the smell. Just realize you can do it. And if it makes you drink water, I am here for it. I am here for it, but it is one of those things that will collect dust. As someone who's been in the fitness world and just knows like there's a lot of things out there that will sell you these healthy habits. But once you have the healthy habit, the thing will collect dust, and it's like not a really useful thing at the end of the day. You gotta constantly be like rebuying them. If you love it, I'm here for it. Just realize it's a little gimmicky, and gimmicky things will collect dust. So it could be fun for a month or two, and if that's all you want from it, great. Could start to build you the habit. Probably not a permanent thing. Number 35, ice face rollers. Now these feel great. So though does just splashing your face with cold water. When I'm hungover, I won't lie, taking an ice cube feels nice. And if you're someone who suffers from like really bad puffiness, yes, just icing any part of your body will take down a little inflammation, and there's benefits from it. But just realize none of this will like actually change your face in any way. Maybe if you have a bunch of really tight muscles, really tight, it can help loosen it up and something there. But no, there's been no scientific proof that this is gonna change or like chisel your jaw. So just realize you're doing this for like self-care, because at the end of the day, sometimes things you just do to feel good. And this could be one of those, and it feels nice. And if it does that for you, I'm absolutely here for it. Just realize when you see it and people are like nicely doing it along their jawlines, this will not change your jawline in any way. But guess what? Not everything in health and wellness has to be 100% perfect. Sometimes you just do it because it feels good in the morning. If this feels good, do it. Do it. But will not chisel your jaw. Like the last thing I thought I'd throw in for fun, number 36, Skims' new mask thing, the face trap. No one knows what this does. Maybe it helps with your jaw. There's been no benefits. No one can figure out what it is. This is just a great example of marketing. I won't lie. We can hate on Skims as much as possible, but I love a lot of Skims products, and I think they do a lot for the marketing. Apparently, her skincare line is blending with Skims, so I think this is just trying to make it go viral in some way and get more attention to like face and Skims, and I think that all it is. And I think just realize a lot of these things, sometimes it's just brands marketing. And sometimes they are beneficial. And I just threw in Skims because it was like, wait, you don't need that. Unless you just had surgery. Which brings me to a reminder at the end is some of these things are harmful, like skinny teas. A lot of these things aren't inherently harmful. I'm not saying necessarily don't buy. I just want to give an example of like, you see a lot of these things online and you're like sitting there like, oh, what I could use this, I could not. And as someone who owns most of these things, I just want to give an example of like, even if they're great, they might still collect dust. Like a Theragun is great, I love it, but it ends up collecting dust. And so a lot of times we see these ideas in health and wellness and we're like, oh, this will be the next solution, this will be the next thing. And at the end of the day, it always comes down to just like consistently working out, eating in a way that makes you feel good, and consistently going to bed at the same time. And it all comes down to that. And if any of these things help you do that, it is beneficial. But just next time before you buy them, just think like, oh, will that collect dust? Am I buying this guided journal for another dopamine hit, or will I actually use the guided journal? Or is it gonna go in the journal book yard because I'm convinced it's the one? It's always that. It's always that's the next water bottle that has all the features. It's that pair of shoes. It's that sunglass. It's that will encourage me to go running. That way, no, the reverse. Your reward for doing anything could be one of these things. Maybe think of it that way. But I've always just noticed when I have to buy something to encourage me to do a healthy habit, it normally doesn't work, unfortunately, because I'm lying to myself. I just want some dopamine and false reward. But give yourself a reward. Like, for example, the running vest. If you don't have the habit of running, probably not great. Mine collects dust when I fall off running. But after several months of running and being annoyed that you can't carry everything, that is a great time to say, hey, I think I need a running vest. And that's how you know. And you're all adults, so you probably realize that. And so I didn't have to tell you that, because sometimes I hate making videos like this because it's like, we're all adults here. You could probably figure it out. But maybe there's just some little insight before you go to buy these next things of how they sound great in theory. They might even have scientific back up to them. But at the end of the day, you have to remember to wear your red light therapy mask every day. And I'm lazy, and I don't. But I'd love to hear down in the comments any other things you see on social media a lot that you've been victimized by and you bought and you realized like, that was not worth the money. I'd love to hear down in the comments, and go check out the comments to see some more. But most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys.